come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly. Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm your girl, Talk to Tongie. We're gonna do life together. Hey, it's me. You already know, right? It's your friend, Dr. Tongie, but a lot of my friends on this show call me Tongie, and that's perfectly fine. Welcome to another edition of Talk to Tongie. It's a very special edition because I have no guests. So you're it. You're my guest for the evening. This show is dedicated to everyone who, one, gave me an opportunity to come and just be me, like, you know, Lisa and Linda and Junior. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I'm sorry. I'm being ugly. He knows what I'm saying. And people like Anna and Sean, and I have to write them down because I know them all here. And Lisa, I said, Lisa was my very first guest. And she did something for me that I couldn't do for myself. She literally took me by my hands and said, okay, you got this. I knew that we had something good because of the name of the show, Talk to Tongie. She made it easy for me to be me. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So this show tonight, it's going to be really special. We're going to take some behind the scenes and you'll get to see what happens when you go into the community and you just be who you are and you allow people to be who they are and you give them an opportunity to showcase what they're doing. That's the premise of the show. That's why it's called Talk to Tongie and not Tongie Talk to You. So for all of those who thought that, you know what, I've missed my turn or I can't do it because of X, Y, Z, after tonight, you're going to see that you really, really can. I'm talking to those who were stuck in the past. You want to hear a past? I can give you one. At 12 years old, I was raped. I know, right? Born to a mom who, my dad was married. My mom was 15 years old, and she could have literally said, you know what? I've got this basketball scholarship here, and I'm just not going to have this baby. But she didn't. So I'm always saying out to my mama, thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance to have life. And I really can have it abundantly, and so can you. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. Again, I want you to know that you're not in this thing called life by yourself. Mistakes, I've made a few, a lot of them, but your mistakes don't define you. They really do not. If someone had told me that getting pregnant, and I'm not advocating teenage pregnancy, so mamas, don't turn me off just yet, okay? But if someone had told me that getting pregnant at 15, 16 years old and having my first kid at 17, 16, that was impossible and that was my lot in life and that was going to be my defining moment, I would have believed them because it was said to me. They said it's too late. You've messed up now. There's something about a mother who tells you who you are, and she reminds you of the relationship that you really need with the one who created you. So come along with me this evening. Let's explore. Let's be authentic. Let's be open, honest, and sincere with one another. You're very free to drop a line or two. You know how we do it on WhatsApp, all right? I'll respond accordingly. But tonight we're gonna dialogue. We're just friends hanging out, encouraging one another. I love you. I truly, truly love you, and I don't have to know your name. I don't have to know your story. See, love is free. It's a gift. And the greatest one that loved us even before we said that we believe. I do. I know how. We're going to have fun. We're going to look back over some of the guests that we've had. Yeah. yeah, you're hanging out with your friend tonight. So I need you to stay tuned. We're going to highlight some of the folk that advertise. Can you believe people advertise with me? What? They took a chance on me. So I take a chance on you. You've got it. You really, really do. I'm going to introduce you to the man behind the camera. You know him. Every time I come on air, he's there. He's quickly became one of my best friends. I don't want to say son because I'm always claiming people's children. That's just who I am. But I believed in him and he believed in me. And together we put this thing called Talk to Tongie together. We're making it work. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. I'm going to go and fix my makeup because I'm crying. And then we're going to get into it. All right? See you soon. Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Tongie. And whenever I get ready for a show, I use a Toy Day food. A Toy Day Food is a proud sponsor of the Dr. Tongie Show and Talk to Tongie.
Hi, good day, lovely people. So this show is a very good show. I really do think that we Saint Lucians should pay more attention. Empowering is the best thing for us. So thank you. Nice to meet you, Doc.
And I didn't pay her to say it. Tell him your name, please.
Samantha.
Samantha. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. It's your girl, Dr. Tongie. You know, from the Talk to Tongie show. Are you ready to maximize your business exposure? Of course you are. Why not consider placing an ad right here with me on the Talk to Tongie show on DBS? What's your name? And tell them what show you want.
Okay, I watched the Dr. Tongie show. Okay, and Kiss FM. Okay?
I love you. Good. We're at the airport. How about that? Thank you, baby. Thank you so much.
Come here, I want to show you something. Come here, I want to show you something. And we're back.
Again, you know who you're talking to, right? I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie, but on this show, I'm Tongie, and you're spending an evening with me on the Talk to Tongie show. When someone gives you an opportunity to showcase other people in the community, to highlight what people are doing, everyday people are making it happen in the marketplace, you have to say thank you. Because I operate in the spirit of gratefulness, I dare not start this show or continue this show without saying thank you to DBS. Linda Dower, someone that I will forever be grateful for, and our tapestry is woven together because she is someone that sees vision. She knows a good thing when she hears it. And the beautiful thing I like about her, it wasn't all about the money. Now, don't get me wrong, we need money down here to survive. God knows that. But she saw the purpose. And she said to me in a 4-hour meeting, without being too invasive, I like what you're doing. I like how you're doing it. And if there's anything that I could ever do to help you get to where you need to be, you count me in. I got you. Oh my God, I'm trying to say this without crying. She reminded me so much of me because I believe that when you have an idea, you may not have a lot of money, but you got a lot of idea, you got a lot of purpose, you got a lot of tenacity, then you got the ingredients to make it work. And that's what we do right here on this show. It is really, and I need you to hear me when I say this, it is really about you doing what you wake up every morning believing that your purpose is. That's what it's about. So shout out yet again to DBS for giving us this platform and the amazing people that work with her, that hold her ladder. And if you've ever heard me talk about principles, and I believe in principles where people are helping one another, and this place right here has the culture of what I get to read and study every day. My first guest, oh, I remember, Lisa. Oh my God, was I did a little research on Lisa because it really didn't take a lot because she's such a staple. She's such a fixture in Saint Lucia, and she's like the voice of reason. And I got to hear her story. And it was so much so that, you know, it took two shows to get through it, but it was something about her charisma, how she got up every morning and she was facing something that man couldn't give to her. Can you imagine going to the doctor and you think you're healthy, only to find out that there's something in your body that's going to take some time, that's going to be a process to get through? I remember listening to her story and listening to her testimony and trying not to cry when she cried. You know, I'm trying to be strong, but she gave me the soliloquy of, just because you cry doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that you're dependent on him and not yourself. Come on. Who can talk like that unless they've gone through some things? I was able to open up and share with her that this year, this very year right now, I'll celebrate, God's willing, and the creek don't rise, 32 years of being cancer-free myself. Picture, if you will, you're 22 years old, you're going through life just trying to make ends meet. You know, I was a mama with 3 children, and they were 6, 4, and 2. Just a little bit of my story. And I was living in small town Mississippi, and I knew that it was something that I was destined to do, but I didn't know what. And I thought it was too late for me. I thought, well, man, I've got these children, you know, I could have, it's just too late. And I was listening to what other folks said, but I remember what my mama said. And for them that know, my mama called me Pootie. I remember her saying to me, Pootie, as a kid, you can do anything you put your mind to. if you believe in God. And I remember at 6 years old saying, I called my mama Annie. I remember saying, Annie, I believe. And that belief has taken me around the world. That believing in him, even when things looked like I was losing, I still had to confess that I believe. So at 22, I'm diagnosed with a thyroid cancer, a malignancy, papillary carcinoma of the thyroid. And my physician tells me that it's beginning to spread, but we got it. Can you imagine? What do you mean? I'm working 3 jobs. I don't have time to be sick. I've got to pay the lease, and I've got to pay my car note, and I've got to take care of my 3 babies. But I remember, I kid you not, being in the hospital. And at that time, radiation therapy was not a big thing in Mississippi, or Columbus rather. I remember a voice coming to tell me that you might as well get your life together because you're going to die. This is it. You're not going to make it. Now, I knew him, and I had grown up, but I didn't know him like I was about to know him. I remember Psalms 23. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. See, that's easy to say when you're reading it and everything's good. But when your faith is on the line, man, and you got to say this unequivocally, and you're looking around saying, I don't know. And there I was bargaining with God. Oh, Daddy, please, if you just let me see my babies grow up. And then if you need me, you can take me. God has a wonderful sense of humor because he tells you right then that you're not in control of absolutely nothing. So 32 years later, I get to get up every morning and it's a relationship that I have with my adult children now. I know I can't parent like I did when they were 6 and 2, but I can be a guidepost. I can be a sounding board. See, mommies and daddies, all right, side note, when you place the fear of God in your children, and when you teach them precept upon precept, even if they go away from it, they'll always remember and they'll always return. And I mean that, okay? For those who think that your babies aren't listening, they're listening. And children have a way of watching what you say. So they'll watch what you do and listen to what you say. Or they will listen to what you do and watch what you say. So shout out to Lisa for passing the baton to me. I remember that the next day that the show aired, someone said, and it's okay, people are filled with opinion. It's all right. Someone said, oh, she did all that talking, bada, bada, bada. And I'm thinking, no. She did exactly what she was supposed to because we prayed before the show. So it wasn't about me. It wasn't about her. It was about the message. Whenever you are doing something that you've never done before, would you take my advice? Keep your focus. Be like the little horse that I get to ride on. When she has on frontlets, she can't see to the right nor to the left. She can only see what's ahead of her. And that's what you have to do. Whatever it is that you believe God has placed in your hands, in your heart, in your imagination to do, then you do it. And you do it to the best of your ability. And I really do mean that. So, imagine, if you will, all right? You get your second guest on the show. And it's this beautiful, beautiful woman, Anna, who gives you the tapestry of her life. Someone said, well, she's probably not going to talk on camera, and she's really shy. Did you see the show that this woman did? I'm still getting views from that show, so shame on you who thought she was shy, but she was speaking from her soul. She knew what she wanted. She knew, and she didn't let a baby stop her. And we love little Hazel. Thank you. Hi, Hazel. She put one foot in front of the other. And when someone told her, hey, there's an opportunity here with this program, she did it. She did it so much so that my EP followed in her footsteps. What you saying, Doc? It makes absolutely no difference where you are, what you think your abilities are. When you start to spend a little time with your creator, you start to see that you're bigger than you thought.
When you're really not given options because of your family's background, you're unable to take you up to a tertiary level, and your option is to work and see yourself through. Or in St. Lucia, there are government-based programs that can allow you to,
Really?
and most of them are free, which I took advantage of.
See, that right there speaks volumes. I mean, you're already a charactered person, all right?
Yeah, I remember this joke. I came and I said, Mommy, I'm in love. And she's like, stop that. Love does not bring you by the marketplace.
Whoa, Nelly.
Like,
whoa, Nelly. I'm going to get a t-shirt on that one. I'll give your mom 50%. Love does not bring you by the marketplace.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be something if you met yourself, your 50-year-old self, and you've been doing this thing since you were 25 or 30, and then your 50-year-old self doesn't look like your 25 or your 35-year-old self? It's kind of mind-boggling when God changes your name and you begin to act like you know it. And that's what Anna did. Oh, she was so amazing. There'll be clips throughout the show that you'll get to see these amazing guests that came on this show. Can you believe they came on this show? Whoa, Nelly. They trusted me with their story. So what you saying, lady? There's so much room for other folk to do what I'm doing. There's no competition. Didn't you know the only competition is that what you have for yourself? The only competition in life is the competition that you have with yourself. Okay? So you got to remember that. Next time you think, oh, they're going to block your shine. Baby, come on, sugar. That's small-minded thinking. You're bigger than that. And let's not forget Daniela. Oh boy, Dubois. Did I say that right? With DramaCon. This woman, man, had a vision in the middle of a storm. 2020 was a rough year for us, man, for all of us, whether you lived in the US or the UK, it was hard. Someone's telling us that we've got this condition, this disease, this plague that's plaguing the world. 20 million people passed away because of COVID-19. 20 million. And I often wonder, of the 20 million, it's just me taking kind of an analysis, how many were really living? How many got up and didn't care what the circumstances looked like, but got up and did something with their time here on earth? You do know that time is really of the essence. Sometimes we take time for granted. We do. And I'm not saying that's what our Daniela Dubois did, but she made it work for her. Now she's, I'm going to say, in syndication around the world, because that's just what I believe, man. I believe anyone that comes on this show is so thoroughly blessed that they get the exposure that they're in need of. That's my why. Someone, what's your why? That's my why. My why for doing this show is to make sure you shine. Yeah, I'll get some benefits, of course. I'll get people like Solana Water Sports that, advertise with me. Did you see that ad? What? I've never met him, but he believes that I could give him some exposure So when I was asked to join the Saint Lucia, it was some kind of thing on Facebook. Thank you guys for inviting me and allowing me to be in your sphere. I told them, they said, well, how do we get from Rodney Bay to Pigeon Island? I said, Saludo Sports. Yes, I did. Because that was his opportunity, man, to show people this is what I've been doing with my time. See, we're not the author of time like we think we are. He gives us just enough to enjoy this thing called life. And if you're smart enough, you'll get busy. Not looking over your shoulder on what you did yesterday or what people said you've done or what you can't do, but putting pen to paper, getting on the knees, as my mama would say, turning over your plate. That's fasting for those who believe. And hearing from God, and then doing it. See, we're all in this thing called life together. I can't do life without you. You hear people say, well, I don't need nobody. I do. I do. I need you and you and you. I need you to tell your story. I need you to live the truth, not your truth, but the truth. That you really are above and not beneath. That you really are the head and not the tail. You know how it goes. That you're a lender and you don't borrow, no matter what your pocketbook look like. I can tell you some stories of some broken pocketbooks. But God, I didn't give up on me, and you're not going to give up on you either. Right? So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we're going to get into some more guests that we've had on the show. See you soon. I never leave home without my lip conditioner and lip scrub from T2T. It's perfect for this kind of weather and any activity. I'm Dr. Tongie from the Dr. Tongie Show and Dr. Tongie, and I endorse this product.
Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Tongie, and I'm here with
Mr. and Mrs. Plant at Plant Space. You can get this restaurant at 453423 It.
They said they watched the show.
Oh yes, we do what you do.
Hey, stay tuned, because you'll never know when I'll stop by your place.
Of course. All right, bye-bye.
Dr. Tongie is on a mission to help you rediscover God's purpose for your life. And she does this by teaching you how to change your perspectives according to His original plan for you. If you are experiencing bouts of failure or an inability to do things right, she is here to assist you in ending those thoughts that can indeed lead to a depressing mindset. She calls you to emulate the processes a full-scale mind shift requires by replacing religious ideologies and traditions that oftentimes create a sense of struggle. Dr. Tongie provides you with much needed insight, encouragement, and motivation to not only assist you in rediscovering your dreams, but she systematically shows you how to no longer chase them, but how to manifest them. Dr. Tongie is the Caribbean's very own inspirational and motivational speaker, our life and spiritual coach, and someone who delivers hope, encourages our faith, and showcases that we must live a life that is.
This is Dr. Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly.
Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to.
I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie. We're going to do life together. And we are back. Aren't you having a good time? I don't know about you, but I really, really am. Whenever I get to highlight people that have been in my space, been on the show. It's exciting. It's rewarding. It makes me feel like, yep, you're doing something that you know you're supposed to be doing right here in this beautiful country of Saint Lucia. You already know who I am, but for those who do not, I'm your girl, Tongie. On this show, you call me Tongie. Out in the marketplace, I'm known as Dr. Tongie, and this is a show that really is designed and created for you, all right? So we were highlighting some of my past guests that have been on the show that have left their imprint in my soul. And I cannot forget this amazing, beautiful young lady, Kimberly. Oh my God, how much fun was it to go to Kimberly's house on a Sunday? Her mama, oh my, I'm still hoping that she'll open up her restaurant. You guys, we can cook here on this island, man. This woman made lamb. I was so bold, I said, excuse me, can I have some of that? And to my surprise, she says, it's for you, Dr. Tongie. How about that? Her family knew who I was. You remember I told you I didn't come here to be famous. I didn't come here for notoriety. I came because I was sent. I was doing all right in Los Angeles, California, but wherever he sends me, my promise to him was I'd go. Kimberly opened up her home and she told us about the ministry that she has, Uncommon Favor Girls Ministry. And if I've flubbed that, I'm so sorry. And then she's a professional executive secretary, and she does a little something in the personal assistant space. She has these gift baskets that you can order and she'll send them out. I mean, I was so blown away with this young girl. I said, young woman, I was like, dang, man, I ain't did nothing. But I had to remember, don't compare. But when she opened her home to us. We had our cameras there, and I asked some of those proverbial questions like, how did you get here? And then she goes on to tell us that it was her mom, it was her mama that told her that you don't have to be your surroundings. You can be exactly who God created you to be. And she was reminded every day, you know, even though she didn't fit in. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like nobody's inviting me to the party, or nobody's inviting me to the cookout, or I want to go on the beach too on Sunday and hang out, but you just don't fit in? Well, honey, Kimberly's story is a telltale sign of it doesn't matter if you didn't fit in. You've already got your own course charted. And that's what she did. And oh my God, I still can't believe this young woman is in her 20s. And she had this brother, and I don't know if we highlighted him on the show, but we did some behind the camera scenes, and they called him Dr. Tongie on his job because he would mimic me. So when I saw him, I said, hey, Dr. Tongie. And he was like, oh, it's you. Talk about someone feeling so small.
With me, I knew what I wanted to become. Since from the age of 12, I knew exactly who I wanted to be. Now, within this community, it is so close-knit that everybody knows everybody, or everybody's related to somebody.
Okay.
And the thing that was disheartening is that persons were so interested in promiscuity, drinking, smoking, partying.
Okay.
Now, I did not want to follow that norm. I wanted to be...
Why didn't you want to? They were having fun.
But it wasn't my kind of fun. Yes, I did not resonate or connect with these kinds of activities. I thought I was like wasting my life, wasting my time. There's so much more out there to do. Why would you want to stay doing something everybody else is doing, right? And I was bullied for that.
But of course, I mean, you're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb here.
Yes.
I mean, who are you to say that you don't want to hang out with us, right?
Yeah.
But you can't be anything. You can't Speak on what people's words, even as children, the effect that can have, and how you were able to say, and you did what you did.
It was tough for me because I thought, again, they were my friends.
And why would they want me to do something that I don't want to do? If you're my friend, you're supposed to support me, right? But it wasn't that case. And I felt depressed. I had low self-esteem. It was a whole drama for me for quite a while as a teenager to get out of it. But the amazing thing is that I have a wonderful mom, and she used to speak to me every single day. Kimberly, you know what? You're better than that. You can become who you want to become. Don't worry about them. The Lord will send you the right set of people.
Wow.
She has the best advice. And I followed through with what she had to give unto me, and that's who I am today.
See, the Lord says that he'll make your name great. All you have to do is just show up over and over and over again, no matter how many times you fall. You already know my story, man. You're talking to a sister that lost $4 million USD in 1 year, and I'm thinking, oh, dear God, that's the end of this story. But it was just the beginning, because I really didn't lose anything. I was servicing people that I thought the insurance company was going to pay, and they didn't. But I couldn't leave that person out in the cold. See, it's not all about money. I know there's some economic folk that'll look at this and say, there she goes, she can say that because she's from the U.S. Dude, I was in the U.S. broke. So it wasn't about that. But it's what you do. It's how you make a person feel is what matters. Maybe you don't really understand why I'm here. I'm here because this country that has adopted me as one of their own, this country is rich, man, with people that are doing things in the marketplace. You know, like Miss Cecilia, who was minding her own business in Chicago. And then she got the call from her father. Will you take over? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she said she ran from that calling. How can you run from a calling that you know God has called you to? Sound like Jonah, doesn't it? Uh-oh, I'm getting in trouble. But she answered the call. All she wanted was a little piece of dirt so that she could say, this is where I'm going to grow some cucumbers and some squash and some potatoes. And we got to go out on her farm. I never would have been able to do that if I had been doing something else, perhaps delivering babies. Nothing wrong with babies now. But sometimes your call won't look like what you studied. I studied medicine. I was doing all right. But when you say Jesus is Lord, that means owner. And when you say he owns you, then he's responsible for you. And that's what she was taught. She stopped running. She opened up the stables and did a little more than Dad had done. And her story, it resonates in my soul. I told her, I want to be like you when I grow up. I get to ride one of her horses. I won't call the name because I don't want them Riri fans getting on my head. But I'll just say that I get to ride, man. I never thought I could ride a horse. Oh my gosh, not from where I'm from. I'm from the projects of Mississippi. We just didn't do that. She allowed me to dream again. What an amazing experience. From her farm to her stable. Right? So she's carrying on the legacy.
Between, being involved with taking care of my dad, I started working on this place and turned it into something that I always dreamed of. It's still a work in progress.
For sure.
But I've always loved playing in the dirt, like you.
Okay. All right.
Now, I always love watching things grow, trying to figure out how that happens.
Yeah.
Even animals too. My mom will give you tons of stories about me being involved with animals as well.
And your mom is still alive?
Yes, she is. Dad was very headstrong and self-determined and strong-willed, so he wouldn't hear anybody's advice. So that was not where I wanted to be.
Okay.
I thought.
Oh,
That was what I
thought. Don't you love it when God's plan trump yours?
Yes. He passed, and no matter how many times I told him, I do not want the responsibility of this. I know nothing about this.
You said this to him?
I said it to him more than once.
Wow.
And he still wound up leaving the responsibility to me.
So you're starting over?
My whole life. It's like I got a new life now.
Oh. And who could forget Sean? Boo. This guy is so incredible. A professional tennis player. He wasn't just a run-of-the-mill tennis player at Saint Lucia. This guy, man, gave it all. Studied and toured in the U.S. and did some amazing feats. But one incident, blowing out his wrists, he tells the story, changed the entire trajectory of his life. Now, he could have, sat around and mulled and sulked and said, God, this is my lot in life. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to be what I want to be. But he rolled up his sleeves and he took a chance. Went to a job interview, man, that he didn't know that he was going to be teaching tennis when he told that story. Does that resonate? You show up for something and you think one thing and God has another plan for you. And lo and behold, now every day, even on Saturdays, he gets to entertain little bitty people. He did it for me when I adopted the ancillary RC infant school. I got that right. And he opened up his heart and he let 96 little people come on his tennis court and play. Some had never held a tennis racket before. And you could see them screaming, "Look, Dr. Tongie, look." The joy, man, of mommies on the court and teachers and grandmothers picking up a tennis racket. Don't take anything for granted is what that story taught me, even down to sharing joy with people who may not know what it means or what it feels like to be loved. That's the story. I think I said it when I told you these hands, they're meant for sharing. They're meant for serving. I don't let that MD degree get in my way of living the life I'm supposed to live. That degree, it helps me get through doors ordinarily this little black girl from Mississippi couldn't get through. But it's a heart matter that God looks at. Everything you do it from your heart. Don't do it for show. You'll get the recognition just by doing it. Amen. Pass the collection plate. And I cannot forget Shaeed. That's it, right? Oh, but this guy who was born not on the island, but guess what? His family's from the island. He was the first generation born in California. But he came back to his roots. So I celebrate someone who says, you know what, I'm going to pick up and I'm going to move and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do to help my grandmother and my mother. Who does that? I'm sure he was making a good living. He said it. But he believed.
Actually, that time was after 9/11, so there was a lot of uncertainty.
For sure.
Tourism was down. Flying was everything was really restricted.
For sure.
And but it was I could see the potential, and I knew that my mother and my grandmother needed a lot of help to like sort of accomplish what we're trying to do. And
Wow.
I saw that, I saw that I had a little touch for it, and I enjoy cooking, I enjoy the food business, and and I enjoy the industry as well. You meet a lot of different people from all around the world,
absolutely.
And we slowly started expanding the business. Once we started getting the restaurant on track. I come from a sailing background. I actually grew up on a 42-foot Norman cross trimaran. What I find is, you know, if you follow what's your passion and you sort of work on that, everything will be okay in the end. And when I first moved to the island, I noticed there was a lot of great activity to do on the ocean, from the sailing, the diving, the fishing, the surfing. We have waves there.
Of course.
Not too many people that have one or two waves. And you know, I started to bring a lot of my my interests, my hobbies here with the local community. I created a couple small teams for sailing and for surfing.
I love it.
And we have a lot of kids from the different villages, from Ansaray, from Cannery.
Are you serious? Now you're speaking my language there.
They come out with us, and you know, we have a little community, and they've been a lot of them have grown up surfing with us, and they're all accomplished little watermen now.
He believed in the dream, and I believe in him. So my hat goes off to him, because I'm literally ready for a dinner cruise. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to be, you know, pampered a little bit. He has an amazing place over in Marigot Bay. And when you get an opportunity, shout him out, support him. He's local. He is a Saint Lucian, all right? And last but not least, by the time this airs, we'll be looking at Marco, who is amazing. Whoa, Nelly, I get chill bumps when I think about him. He didn't even want to smile when he came to the show. By the time he left the show, he was smiling, and he did something that I couldn't have even fathomed. He made these T-shirts with Talk to Tongie on them. So I'll have those up on the website and the platform for you guys to take a look and order a T-shirt or two, so you can celebrate him and support him as well.
Yeah, 76 Savage. Everybody know me as 76 Savage. or normally my customers may call me Savage, and as you see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is a printing business?
Yeah, it's a printing business.
Okay. And
it's a printing business, also a Saint Lucia brand clothing business.
His story is remarkable, and you'll get to see it, all right? And I cannot forget, oh boy, can I not forget, my next advertiser, Fine Line Cleaning Service. Let me tell you about this woman here. I hope that is not too invasive, Susie Q. And if it is, you can just call me on the phone, all right? I remember meeting her almost 2 years ago. And I met her, and she was going to be working with me. I don't say for me, because no one works for me. We work together conjunctively. And I remember sitting and interviewing her. And I said to her, okay, you got the job, lady, but I need you to start your own business. I don't want to give away too much, because she's going to be a guest on the show. She is. But she sat at that table with tears in her eyes, and she acted as if I had given her $1 million check for her to spend at her leisure. She said no one had ever said that to her. She believed it. And I think I cried more than she cried that day, because I want everyone that I meet to get into your purpose, so you won't waste another day. And she started with what she had in her hands. Come on, you can't say, well, she had it made. She's from the U.S. She's Saint Lucian. And she picked up broken pieces. Some had shards on them. Some had straight glass. But she made something so beautiful. So if you need house cleaning services, all right, house management, property management, she's your girl. I vouch for her, all right? And let's not forget, last but not least, oh boy, Jared. Hallelujah. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. Stay tuned. I hope that I'm saying something to get you up, so you can get into this thing called life. And you're not by yourself. Stay tuned. never leave home without my lip conditioner and lip scrub from Etoile de Feu. It's perfect for this kind of weather and any activity. I'm Dr. Tongie from the Dr. Tongie Show and Dr. Tongie, and I endorse this product.
My name is Colin Sledge. I'm from the Mabwe Valley Dennery, the servant of the people.
I love that. I swear to you, I didn't pay him to say it.
No, you did not. I listen to your show all the time.
Thank you.
Very inspiring.
Thank you, sir.
And the way you go about bringing out the message at a level everybody can pick up on it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Glory be to God.
Yeah, everybody.
I love this man.
And spiritually, I think is the right thing you're doing, and
Thank you.
that's where I'm grounded.
Thank you, sir. God bless you for that.
You too, you too. Welcome. Welcome to Saint Lucia again. Yes.
This is Dr. Tongie. I'm from a little town called Columbus, Mississippi, and I've come all the way here to show you exactly how you can live abundantly.
Fear is nothing. You hear me? You can do anything you put your mind to.
I'm your girl, Dr. Tongie. We're gonna do life together. And we are back. Thank you for spending an afternoon and evening with me that I'll never forget. Seriously, thank you so very much for allowing me into your home, into your office, or wherever you may be watching right now. I do not take it lightly or for granted that you literally could be watching any program you want to. But the fact that you're here on DBS and you're with me, come on, man. You make my dreams come true, which is the highlight of the evening. This gentleman, this last guest that we're going to reflect upon is none other than Jerian. And Jerian's story is so unique, right? Jerian has a call, as we would say, on his life for greatness, and he knows it, you know? His specialty for now is tourism. And he does it, oh my God, he does it so woefully and so jovially. But he has a penchant for photography. And he's able to capture some of the most amazing pictures. And he does a little something in social media. And I remember interviewing him, and he was kind of nervous, and he was like, well, okay, you know, do I need to sit like this or do I sit like that? And I'm like, no, just be who you are, man. You're making me nervous. I don't get nervous. But Jerian, oh my gosh, his soul resonates with someone who literally lives life to the fullest.
A bottle of champagne. And it's all done already. Imagine that. Oh, man. And so far they celebrating the 20th anniversary in Saint Lucia for the first time.
Brewing deep within, like the golden sun of the Caribbean. Welcome to my playground. And you can dance and sing all day.
The story that really captured me with him was the relationship that he had with his mom. And I say had because unfortunately his mom passed away, but she encouraged him to live. And when I tell you that this young man is living from the inside out, he does. He's subject to get a camera and say, hey, look at me, and get hundreds and thousands of views. And he exudes life. When I was around him, I kind of wanted the evening to go longer, and I would ask questions, you know, that caused him to think. And little did I know that he would be here teaching me. So you're never too old to learn anything. You're never too late to start anything. And whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, Jerian gives you that confidence. That you definitely can do it. So I know that each and every one of these guests that have been on this show have been impactful. They've been insightful. They've shared some of their lowest moments with us, and we've gleaned from them and maybe what not to do in business or to live your life the way you're supposed to on your terms. I am a firm believer, and I'll believe this until I take my last breath. We all have purpose. There's a reason why you were created, And trapped inside of you is the greatest you that you'll ever meet in your entire life.
I am proudly from a rural community from Foaso, Babano in the northwest of the island.
Okay.
And agriculture was always all around me.
Wow.
Literally grew up at a home where we didn't buy juice. You went on trees, you picked fruit, you made juice.
Come on. I love that. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
And grandmother.
And grandmother,
grandfather.
absolutely.
That's the thing. I grew up in a household where I not only had my parents, but my maternal grandparents nearby.
Wow.
And both sides of the family were into agriculture. My path, I wanted to impress my family. I wanted to, I guess, put value to the name because I came from a rural community with a last name that's not recognized. There's nothing. So I wanted to, you know, like make my family feel that they were worth it, that they had achieved something within me. I guess bring value to my family name. So obviously I, as a kid, was thinking doctor, lawyer, and so forth, and all of these things never really fit, but I definitely had an affinity to the foreign languages, to history and so forth. And then naturally, it's funny, someone mentioned to my dad that they're like, you know, at high school, and it was another student who said, I could see Keithlyn as a diplomat, and I heard it and I just ran, I just literally ran with it. Always felt, I don't want to say the pressure, but the responsibility. The responsibility to do well. And it's something that I still have to this day. And yeah, I agree. For me, I feel like my path was not chosen by myself, but it was already laid out for me.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's obviously, I feel like, a lot of divine interventions that led me to where I am today.
Wow.
I will always be a Saint Lucian first and foremost, because my country, I wear it proudly. I bleed my flag country colors, honestly. And
I believe
my
that.
fiance. And home is always for me where the heart is. There was, throughout all the travels and everything, there was no place like home. And also I felt like, again, responsibility. I had a responsibility to contribute more. I felt like, as a country that had, for example, 2 Nobel laureates and so forth, we became a bit stagnant. And I felt like there was a huge brain drain, and you kept hearing people saying, even to this day, when there's kids outside and they want to come back, you'll hear older persons or persons in general saying, what home have? Like, what's the point of coming back? And I hate to hear it, because for me, there is so much in Saint Lucia. There's so much talent. There's just so much. And I think it's a matter of really investing in our country rather than other person's countries, and taking that risk as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, there is a lot to be done, but I think that persons, whether it's from the diaspora, whether it's here, we really need to put country first and put our best foot forward. And for me, that was what was important about coming back.
Should you dare to dream, should you dare to use your imagination, and you meet yourself, don't be surprised if you don't look like what you thought. Don't be surprised if when people see you, they start to give money to you. They start to listen to what you're saying and how you say it, and they start to capture even the things that you didn't know about yourself. So, what's the moral to this show? The moral to this show is to be exactly who you were born to be. It's you not giving up. Is you putting your pen to paper and writing out that vision, because without a vision, you won't do anything. Some people say, well, I got it up here and it's all up here. Well, put it down on paper so we can take a look at it too. All right? And I want to say a special thank you to Etoile de Fou. If you've noticed, my lipstick didn't come off. Thank you so very much for sponsoring this show. Thank you so very, very much for being right there where I needed you, when I needed you. A big shout out to DBS for making my dreams come true. Thank you for 30-something odd years in the game and not giving up. Who would have thought an idea by a brother and a sister would turn into something so magnificent that lives have been changed, that political careers have been launched, that people from around the world, whether they're in the UK or the BBC or just everywhere, tune in every time this show goes live or other shows on this platform. Linda, I'm eternally grateful to you, lady. Thank you so, so very much for allowing me to dream and not be ashamed of telling the story. The show is about encouraging you. It's about motivating you. It's about moving you exactly where you need to be. So if you've got a story to tell, check us out. Let us tell your story by, hey, being a guest on the show. The show is called Talk to Tongie. And that's what we do. We motivate other people to get out of their way, to do exactly what they are supposed to be doing. I've got this little soliloquy that I say, if this was my last day on earth, if tonight at 11:59 my daddy says, time's up, I could honestly tell him, thank you. I didn't get everything right. There are times when I got in my own way. And I'm so grateful that you forgave me of my past and put me back on the road of where I'm supposed to be. Thank you, Saint Lucia. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to be free. That's what you bring for me, freedom. I love you. I don't have to know your name to love you because I have the gift of love, and so do you. Let love be your greatest aim, not your money, not your career, not what you're driving, not what you're profiling in, but love. Love is really the key that answers every door. I'm your friend. I'm your girl. If you see me in the marketplace, I'm going to ask you what your name is because that is what we do. Thank you for allowing me to come into your home. Have an amazing evening. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Bye.